Hi, welcome to Bookwood. It's cold. Let's go inside. Come in.
Hi, I'm glad you chose to spend some time with me. It is the time of the year that we go back to Orilium. Bonjour à casa. And so today I am starting 2 reads for that. One audio and one physical. The physical one is Profession astronaute by Tomas Marlier et Pierre-François Mouriaux. This is a small book and it was originally on my February TBR for Petit Mois Petite Lecture, since it's about 200 pages, but it came only in March in the library. So I was very happy that I could add this to a prompt. So what prompts are we reading for? For those who don't know Orilium, it is a D&D styled readathon in which you build a character that has each year 2 semesters at school. My character is called Olika, and this year Olika starts all over. We joined, she and her obviously, the readathon last year, and we started off studying for a mind mender, which is someone who like a psychologist, and Olika was very interested in how the human minds worked. So she wanted to study that. But after 1 year at Orilium and doing some extra curriculum activities like becoming an apothecary keeper, she discovered that she had a very big love for growing plants and for animals. She collected like a whole lot of companions. And so she decided to start over her studies and to study for 2 callings, herbalism and bees mastering, which means that I have to read, let me show you, a total of 7 books this month. And there is a class, twice the class of alchemy that I need to pass, twice the class of restoration, 1 time elemental studies, animal studies, and lore. And so this first book goes into the alchemy prompt, which is a title that is all in capital letters. And so I could add this for one of my alchemy classes. And I hope that I will love this book. It's a non-fiction, it's not my favorite genre, but when I saw this at the library, I immediately thought this would be a nice read to do with Yorim, since Yorim has a passion for everything space. And I was wondering what it exactly means to be an astronaut. So I hope that in this book we will get to learn a little bit about this job or this career, because that's what it is, but also how, and this is Tomas Pesquet. Thomas Pesquet is a French astronaut, and this book is based on his path, on his career. And so I hope that we will have an insight in how he perceives all that. I especially would like to know how he feels about the weightlessness that you have in space, and how it feels to see Earth from so far away. And this should be a quick read. So I'm curious. We'll see. I hope that it will not have too much complicated words or scientific words in it. And once I've read it, I'll pass it along to Yorim. Nobody reads this month with him. It was too complicated. So we'll see. I always also start an audiobook, and the one I'm starting up is called, and I put it there, La Mariée de Corail. It is by Roxanne Bouchard. And to be able to fit in this book in my reads, I had to use, where did I put it? Where did it go? Here it is. I will be using a scroll of exchange. So this is scrolls that we can buy with our guild reputation points in the Guild Emporium, and it lets us exchange the prompt of one class. So I have decided to use this, so I'll put it in my bank. So that I can swap the prompt for, why am I struggling this much? The prompt for animal studies, which is still a book from another TBR, to the prompt, a book with a missing person, that's from, I think, the demonology class. Why did I absolutely wanted to listen to this book? This is a book that I have found in the included books on Audible. I had listened to a book from this author, and that is basically the first book in this series, without knowing it was a series a very long time ago, and I really liked listening to it. This is a Canadian author from Quebec, so the book is written in French, but in the French from Quebec, which is, to us in Belgium and France, a very interesting French to listen to, because it is also read by someone from Quebec, so we have the accent with it. I think it's fun to listen to, and also what I really liked about this book, it is calm. It is taking place near the ocean, and the fishing community has a big part in it, and I really liked the calmness of the sea that comes through in the writing style. And when I found this book, I set it aside to listen to for a readathon that is more mystery based. But then I discovered that this book is going out of the Audible included collection after April 4th, and so I have to listen to it fast if I want to do that. So I hope that in the second book I will find again the calm of the first one, and the like very beachy vibe. And it's not like the beachy festival summer vibe, it is like the winter. It's not, maybe it is not set in winter, it is but it has a vibe of being near the sea, out of the summer season. And I hope we have this vibe in this book again. Listening to a book means doing chores. So let's go do something. So I have an excuse to listen to a book. I think we'll be doing laundry, because with 5 kids, laundry is a challenge. It's a thing. So when I come to, I think, the end of these books, because they are not very long, I will catch up with you again so we can see what I thought about them and what we'll be reading next.
trained pest controllers, park rangers, and entertainers. The Ratomancer can conjure and influence the tiny beast through the creation of a purple rat totem.
Going into this book, I hoped that it would be like a memoir of Tomas Pesquet himself, in which he explains everything he went through and how he felt about it in his journey from starting to train to be an astronaut to going into space, staying 6 months. But it was not at all like that. This book was indeed describing all the steps and the most important information about how to become an astronaut and how it feels to set off and all those things. But it was more out of a scientific explanatory point of view with as examples what our astronaut went through and some quotes. So it was interesting, at some times a little bit too detailed for me, with lists of countries, of equipment and stuff like that, that got me a little bit out of the rest of the information. I still learned a lot about the history of the space station and of how all these things evolved. And I will continue to remember that it is not easy and that it has big requirements to become an astronaut. Many of the smaller informations will unfortunately get lost somewhere in between the book and my mind. But I do not regret reading this book because now I know that it's way more complex than I initially thought. Also, I will think back on this book every time I read or see something science fictional in space, because I learned a lot about how much preparation it is, for example, to leave the station to go do a walk into space to repair or upgrade some equipment. And so each time we will see like people jumping into a suit and rushing out a spaceship or something, I will be like, nope, we are not quite there yet. So it will stay with me after all. I will still pass it on to Jorim, but I am not sure that he will be able to understand all the principles and all the science that is explained in here. He is only 13 years old, and I think this book is aimed at a more adult group of readers. But yeah, I would say if you speak French and you get the chance to read this one and it is interesting to you, then do, because it is still nice to read. I also finished La Mariée de Corail, and I discovered that this book has been translated to English, and in English it is called The Coral Bride. I liked listening to this book. I found back the same atmosphere that was in the first one. And I think that it is even a little bit more atmospheric than the first one, because I like the sea in autumn and winter. I don't like the buzzy beach party type of atmosphere. And even in the first one, this was more this calm fisher village atmosphere. I think it was a little bit better, and in this one, because it was actually set in autumn. So in this book we follow Inspector Morales, which we got to know in the first book, and this is a Mexican inspector that moved to Canada, to Montreal, when a tourist girl that he met in Mexico announced him that she was pregnant by him, and he wanted to marry her, and he wanted to raise their children together, and so he moved to Canada where he learned French. And we will learn in this book a little bit more on his backstory. We will learn more about his first years in Canada. But of course, this is only the backstory. We will learn this through conversations he has, mostly with his son, who is an adult and who came to join him in Gaspésie, which is a region of Canada, because he had some troubles in his own marriage. The mystery in the book was interesting. This book starts with a lady who goes missing, and she's a captain of a fisher ships. She fishes for lobster, and we will go and try to find out first of all if she is really missing, but soon her corpse will be found, and so the investigation turns to looking for if this was a unfortunate accident, a voluntary choice, or if she was murdered. And during this investigation, it will of course reveal some secrets of the community. It will not always be easy to find out what really happened, what's the truth behind all it. And of course, by the end of this story, we will have found out what exactly happened. But I will not tell you, because otherwise there is no fun for you to read this book. I enjoyed the first one mostly for the atmosphere, and I really like listening to the French from Quebec, which is quite different than the French we have over here. And I really like I said, the atmosphere in this book, how this region is depicted. I also really liked how calm the investigation feels. This is a concept I noticed I have with books that not everybody seems to understand, but some books are very calm towards others are very busy. It's like if they generate some background noise in my head. But this book, things go slowly enough. It goes over a couple of days, because every chapter is a day, but then the days are not rushed. It's not like, and they jumped into the police car and drove with all sirens onto this place to jump out of the car with the guns ready. No, it is more like, so they woke up and they had breakfast and they watched the sea and they saw some whales in the distance, and then they took a walk to the village, in which it is slow in the rhythm of the action, but then the book in itself is not dragged out. It is an atmosphere that I think you have to like to enjoy the reading of this book. But I did, so I hope I didn't explain this too confusingly. Is that a word? Confusingly. And if you like books with a nice, calm atmosphere, I would say give it a try. Give it a try. So, over the weekend, I started a new book, and I decided to go with Emily Miles' map of the Otherlands. Is it Otherlands in English? Yes, I remember it well. By Heather Fawcett. This is the second book in the Emily Wilde trilogy. We only got this book, so it's fair new. It's new in our library, and I am like a big third in now. I'm really enjoying my read. So I read this book for elemental studies, if I'm not mistaken. We are following Emily Wilde, who is a scientific that is studying fae. So she lives in England. The book has dates, and it's in the 1910s, but a magical England in which there are faith and people living amongst them, and so they are studying them. And in the first book she goes to a more Nordic region to study a type of fae to add to her encyclopedia of fairies. And during that trip she gets to know better the Professor Wendell Bumblebee, who is also doing research and teaching in the same University of Cambridge than Emily. And they will become pretty close due to the adventures they will go through with the fae that Emily is studying. In this book, Emily is confronted to several other problems. She is trying to write an atlas that holds maps and descriptions of the different fae realms that there are. And she is a little bit obstructed by the head of the triadology department, who also wanted to write the encyclopedia she wrote, and she just was first. And he now doesn't like Emily. He is also convinced that there is some foul play. And when some other events linked to Wendell set off their trip to Austria to go investigate for this atlas of Emily, he imposes himself to go along. And that's where I'm at right now. We did arrive in Austria, and we are starting the investigations for the atlas over there. There is not much I already want to tell you about this book. I am enjoying this read. I really like the Professor Wendell Bumblebee, who is a little bit, he feels like a little bit whimsical, a little bit eccentric, and I really like picturing him in everything he does. I think Emily is sometimes even a little bit funny in how she wants to keep things together. And I love how these two almost extremes in character get along. And I hope that in this book, well, the chemistry between Emily and Wendell will continue to grow, because we know this is no secret. This is a quite romance-oriented fantasy, and so we'll see how this goes on. I hope to finish this one in the next couple of days. I did pick out my next audiobook. I really need to get that started. That will be La guerre, céleste, partie 2 by Anna Triss. It's the last one in the Guilde des Ombres, La Guilde des Ombres trilogy. And I am curious to see how this story ends. I will probably be listening in this book, in this vlog and in the next one, because it's 32 hours and a half long, so that will take me a while to listen to. So we will have the occasion to come back to this book. And off to the library we are again. This time we are there for two reasons. First one, picking up some books that came in. Second one, to visit this expo called En Fluo, in Fluo, which shows us the work of Kitty Crowther, which is a Belgian author of children's book.
Il est pas content.
Il est pas content, pourquoi tu dis ça?
À côté de le fait et regarde, il est pas content.
Ah d'accord, il regarde.
She is known in English for the Poca and Mia series.
Ça ressemble à vous, ça. C'est comme vous, ils enfilent des chaises sur des chaises sur des tables. Aïe!
Il est tombé?
Oui, ça arrive moins chez vous.
In my vlog about the library, I was unable to show you the inside of it, since there was a class visit. But today there are no people, so we can film inside. The weather is nice, so we go to yet another playground so I can get some reading done. It is the last update for this first vlog of me reading to pass my Orilium classes. I am happy that I can announce that I finished Emily Wilde's map of the Otherlands. I really did enjoy the second half of this read, in which the events follow up a little bit more quickly. I still feel though that this book suffers a lot from the second book syndrome, as I find that the events are not that gripping as in the first book. But then, to speak for it, at the end I was really impatient to be able to pick up the third book. I also came at the halfway point of La Guerre, Céleste, Partie 2 by Anna Triss. I am quite intrigued by the event. So this is the final part of this trilogy, and we are in the big maelstrom of events leading up to the end. It is very difficult to tell you much about this book, other than that I really enjoy it. Normally, next month, around the 10th, I will upload my series wrap-up, and with that I will be able to tell you more about this series. I will also tell you that before leaving, I will show you a little clip of the library of Anden, which is a city near us that we visited, myself and my daughter Tilia, for a slow reading event. This library is situated in a larger cultural building that also holds an exposition area, we would say, and two museums. We were able to go read in this exposition area, in which is held a ceramic exposition of a Flemish artist that is all about Alzheimer's, and it was really special to be able to sit between these artworks, to watch out of this very big window and have a view of the sunset above the city. I hope you enjoy the view too.
This semester, Orilium students are engaged in a dragon rescue mission. So let's pack our manuals, books and equipment and set off to save a dragon.
Wow.
A good student keeps track of all the information he learns. So let's write down which dragons we saved, when and where and out of what circumstances. Locke is determined to give a hand. He is worse than an inkling. This cute trash coon was so happy that we saved him that he decided to stick with me. I still have to name this cutie though. What name do you suggest? By the day that I am closing this vlog, we have saved 3 dragons. Can we save a 4th one? Watch my second vlog to see how many dragons we end up saving.